Thanks for staying on the line. What's your question?
My question is, given the tremendous deficit that the country has, why did you, after saying that you weren't going to vote for this bill, why did you go ahead and vote for it anyway, increasing the deficit by $3 trillion?
So first of all, William, it's a very legitimate question. It's a good question. I think it can easily explain it. If you listen carefully, I was always looking for a three-step process. Provide the border funding and defense to clean up the messes left behind by the Biden administration. Then my second step would have just been to extend current tax law, which would have taken the automatic tax increase off the table. That's a price tag of $4 trillion right now. That's what caused the deficit numbers. But again, on a bipartisan basis, nobody wanted to increase Americans' taxes. I mean, Democrats could have, when they had the presidency, the House, the Senate, they could have increased taxes on anybody. They could have increased them on the wealthy. They could have punished success as much as they wanted to. They didn't do that. They left the Tax Cut and Jobs Act alone. We were facing that thing automatically expiring. Had we had the smarts back in 2017 of reducing spending to pay for permanency, we would have done that. So again, there was no way I was going to let the automatic tax increase go in effect. So that, to me, is already table stakes. And what I tried to do is use my vote to create as much leverage to bring spending down to a reasonable pre-pandemic level. And so that's why I was so vocal about it, is I was pushing and prodding my colleagues, the president, everybody. We've got to return to reasonable pre-pandemic level spending. We went from $4.4 trillion to over $7 trillion from 2019 to this year. Totally unjustified. The bottom line is, this is all we could get. We got about $1.5 trillion of additional spending reduction. Historic in nature, just we've got so much further to go. So, again, a legitimate question. I hopefully explained that. Nobody wanted to increase taxes. I certainly didn't want to do that. By the way, that score could be bogus too. You increase people's taxes, there's no guarantee you're going to get that $4 trillion that CBO is estimating. I've got a real question about the way CBO scores things anyway. But anyway, William, thanks for staying online. Good question. Next, go to Teresa in Eau Claire. Hello, Teresa. Thanks for staying online. What's your question?